Christ the King feast, solemnity, is it biblical or traditional? What is the solemnity of Christ the King? A celebration of the authority of Jesus as a spiritual king and ruler who rules by truth and love. Church celebrates this Sunday, the 34th Sunday of the ordinary time, just before Advent season. It is Christ, the King of the universe. John 18:37, you say that I am a king, for this I was born, for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice. The Feast of Christ the King is a liturgical celebration in the Catholic Church instituted by Pope Pius XI in 1925 through his encyclical Quas Primas. While the specific feast day itself is a relatively recent addition to the Church's liturgical calendar, the concept of Christ's kingship is deeply rooted in biblical teachings. Citizenship of Christ's kingdom are expected to observe only one major law, the law of love. Love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. If you love me, you will keep my commandments. Jesus expects a higher degree of love from his followers. Love one another as I have loved you. There's resolve to give him the central place in our lives, to promise to obey his commandments of love by sharing what we have with all his needy children. The solemnity of Christ the King is ultimate authority over all creation. The scripture contains several passages that highlight Christ's kingship and sovereignty. Some of the pertinent biblical quotation that supports the solemnity of Christ the King are Colossians chapter 1, 15-20. He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For by him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things were created through him and for him. And he is before all things, and in him all things hold together. 1 Timothy 6, 15-16. He who is blessed and only sovereign, the King of the kings, the Lord of the lords, who alone has immortality, who dwells in unapproachable light, whom no one has ever seen or can see. To him be honor and eternal dominion. Revelation chapter 19, verse 16. On his robe and on his thigh he has a name written, King of kings and Lord of lords. Psalm 47, 7-8. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing praises of the psalm. God reigns over the nations. God sits on his holy throne. Daniel chapter 7, 13-14. I saw in the night vision, and behold, with the clouds of heaven, there came one like a son of man. He came to the ancients of the days, and was presented before him. Unto him was given dominion and glory and kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed. Matthew 28, 18. And Jesus came and said to them, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. The feast of Christ the King as its own biblical foundation and traditional, instituted by Pope XI in 1925, and also has the biblical affirmations, Jesus Christ's sovereignty, kingship, and authority over all things. It declares that Christ is not only the King of the kings and Lord of the lords, but also the source of all creation and ultimate ruler of the universe. The feast of Christ the King celebrates and acknowledges this eternal truth about Jesus Christ, inviting us to recognize his reign in our lives and in the world. as we celebrate Christ the King, may we acknowledge Jesus Christ as King of our lives.